News with Gina.
The News with Gina Grad.
Well, we're starting with some local California news because it is so insane. I can't help but lead with it. A woman is in custody after leading police on a wild chase through a California neighborhood in a stolen RV, according to CBS News. It was just after rush hour Tuesday evening when the authorities in Santa Clarita, California, not far from here, chased a stolen motorhome with a huge gash on the side. Behind the wheel was a female driver with two dogs inside, apparently sitting on her lap. I'm going to let ABC News take over the story because there's 60 seconds and the retelling of this paints such a picture you're not going to believe it.
The woman behind the wheel weaves in and out of traffic at speeds of up to 70 miles per hour through residential neighborhoods in the San Fernando Valley of Los Angeles.
Fury
The
Road.
chase started around 7 p.m. when the California Highway Patrol says the RV failed to yield. When it looks like the driver is at a dead end in a parking lot, she narrowly escapes, rams into a palm tree, which rips the front side of the camper wide open and shears off the windshield.
She's just slamming into everything in her way, slamming into every pole, every tree, every vehicle.
The tree didn't come
As
down.
the driver careens around this corner, one of her dogs leaps from the jacket
from the windshield.
RV.
But he's fine.
No,
He's fine.
The dog is running away. The dog is okay.
Later, she's seen desperately trying
Now
to
the
hold
next
on
one
to
wants
her
to get
other
out.
dog while whipping through this upscale neighborhood. That's when she loses control, plows into this sedan.
Oh no!
Jesus.
Oh my goodness!
That person's in a
Leaps from what's
driveway.
left of the vehicle, running to the front gate of a home, her dog running beside her, until the
It's a
highway
loyal
patrol
dog.
officers catch up to her and tackle her to the ground.
So how was your week?
Look,
She wasn't doing as well.
these car chases, well, I don't know what year it is, but can we figure this shit out? I see these things go on through 17 counties.
Yeah.
I have seen them go up Beechwood Canyon, go by my house, turn around, and go right back down
Down to Long
Beechwood
Beach.
Canyon. Pretty fucking easy.
Yeah.
There's one way in, there's one way out. And all they do is follow them. It's just follow them. We got to do a little better than this.
Yeah, and just careening into other cars.
Also, when the fucking thing starts in Redondo Beach, and I don't know where this thing started, but I'm just saying.
Santa Clarita.
This thing starts 40 miles away, and an hour and a half later, your wife and your kids are pulling out of the driveway of your house that's 4 counties over, and this tank goes plowing into them and puts your kid in a coma. How pissed are you that they didn't nip this thing in the bud?
It's going to funny you mentioned that. It occurred to me it's going to take a dead kid to get the laws changed. The police can only engage to a certain degree. They can't run the car off the road or shoot the tires. Well, it's going to take a dead kid to get the laws changed.
Their thing is, their cops are it's too dangerous to try to spin him in the middle of the whatever. It's it's too dangerous, so
dangerous?
just let him.
What
Not
she's
person
doing.
in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going into parking lots of the Costco and driving up people's driveways. Of course, it's all dangerous. Here's what it is. It's all dangerous. This is a dangerous that is an hour and a half before the other dangerous,
Right.
and we can sort of control it. Now, look, I know they have weird electronic things and ignition disablers, and they shock the car, whatever, and they have the strips and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Can't we do better than this in 2000? It's 2019. Our plan is follow at a safe distance until this guy plows into a sedan and the wheels come off the RV, and then we'll get out of the car. Okay.
That's crazy. That's still the protocol.
Well, we're not yet at Carpocalypse, where we can do something, by remote.
Well, Navigating.
Navigating, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
What's Carpocalypse?
Wasn't that the freeway thing that happened a couple years ago?
Yeah, maybe that was it. Navigating, that's what I meant, sorry.
Right. Navigating
We're not there yet.
was my movie, or our movie from back in the day.
Well, sadly, we are there yet, but not with old RVs.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe
Right.
without a
They're
Jaguar.
all going
we
to have
could
to be obsolete first.
Stop that. Turn that off.
Right. And there's a Carmageddon was when they were going to close the 405
yeah.
or whatever that is. Navageddon, which we were laughing about 10 years ago. Oh, that could work. I mean, if some evil guy hacked into Lynette's SUV, someone could definitely lock the doors and drive her off into the Grand Canyon, and I don't think there's much you could do about it.
Oh, she could not plug the car in the night before, and that way they only get so far.
That's what they weren't counting
that's her
on. Yes.
Well, Artie Lang has been arrested again. The comedian who was arrested in January for drug possession was taken into custody Tuesday at a halfway house in Clinton, New Jersey. I think we have a picture. He's not looking super great, although I got to tell you, he looks better. This was him after being in the halfway house a while.
He does. His nose is completely just given away.
Gone.
It's just all the cartilage in it is.
He said it was from a fight with a bookie.
I do not think
fights.
so. No.
Yeah. So a spokeswoman for the Essex County Prosecutor's Office told Page Six, quote, and this made me think of you and all of your Loveline call-ins. He was arrested for not being in compliance with the terms and conditions of a drug court program. So probably a parole violation. A law enforcement source said Howard Stern's former sidekick was coherent, cooperative, very routine. He said he looks a lot better than he did 3 months ago. Artie is expected to be charged with violation of probation. This was his fourth arrest in the past 2 years.
Yeah, it's tough, and it's weird when you coming fresh off of doing the whole Stern thing and seeing how that enterprise has flourished so much over the years. They have their own floor and all the security and all the cameras and all the video rooms and the backstage and the sort of ballet and the gift basket with all the cool stuff in it and blah, blah, blah. And Artie definitely was a part of all that. And look, kids, don't do drugs. I mean, what else can you say? There's one culprit here. It's drugs. That's it. Artie was there. He was in the catbird seat. He had everything going for him, and it just literally addiction.
Yeah.
That's pure and simple. So we wish him well.
Yeah. Well, there is a new world order, as we're starting to learn, in terms of artists and musicians who are now starting to die and what happens to them in the afterlife, because Whitney Houston is going back on tour.
Jesus.
7 years after her death in a Beverly Hills hotel room, the keepers of the late singer's estate have decided it's time to bring her back with a new album and tour using a hologram. The album will consist of unreleased material, much of it from sessions from 1985.
This wouldn't work with the Corollas. Like if I had an untimely demise and you went to my heirs, you went to my dad, my mom, and went like, okay, we're going to do a hologram. We're going to put him back on stage. They'd be like, what'd he do? Mm-hmm. He's a comedian. Oh.
You don't say.
Would this hologram be able to add a kitchen addition, do a kitchen remodel or something? No, he's not. He would tell jokes.
But while he
in the
driveway?
kitchen, right? No.
Can the hologram sign a lease for a car?
No. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, this is where we're going. I mean, we're now, you guys tell me, but if we just took Justin Bieber, who's, 25 and a half, and we did a day with him at the motion capture Dreamland or DreamWorks, Industrial Light and Magic, where you put him in the ping pong ball suit, had him do every move he could do in front of the green screen, captured it digitally with 17 slow motion cameras or whatever. We just have him for the rest of our life, right?
We just
eternity.
There'll just be, it'll be this way from this day forward, right?
Yeah. Stuck in time.
It's all kind of creeping together. We got Rocket Man, the Elton John movie coming out soon. You're starting to see the trailers previous for that. And this, the Whitney Houstons of the world that are doing the digital. It's all coming together in this sort of nostalgia collision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're coming at it from both angles.
I'm also wondering, I think we come at this, Amy Winehouse or Whitney Houston or whoever, that are we worried that their legacy will be somehow tarnished because now they're not in control of it? Because couldn't the opposite be true? You take someone who was kind of a dick, and then they go on a speaking tour, and they're the nicest guy you'd ever want to meet.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking whatever's going on with cable and basic cable and Netflix and Amazon and tons and tons and tons of programming, right? There's just tons.
There's content channels, yeah.
And it's good.
Yeah.
And then you got to run into those people all the time. Like, you watching Bosch? No, I'm not watching Bosch. You're not watching Bosch? Oh, yeah, you got to watch Bosch. And you're like, I don't know. Where is Bosch? Oh, it's on the Ring doorbell network. And you're like, oh, really?
I was wondering if your doorbell, you got a new episode.
I thought that was just the front porch. Oh, no, they got their own network. They got their own network now. And so it's like, there's so much. And it used to be, it was kind of like, well, there was Al Jolson, and then he died, and then Peter Frampton took his place or something. Well, now it's going to be Al Jolson, Peter Frampton, Justin Bieber. It's going to be everybody all the time, and it's just going to keep going. Ariana Grande and whatever. No one's ever going to go away, right? So at a certain point, it's going to be like podcasts, or it's going to be like cable, or it's going to be like content. There's so many. And it's not even to say one is good or one is bad. They're all good. And there's so many. Like, how do you ingest it all? How do you find it all?
I guess like a Kevin Hart hologram stand-up, 20, 30 years down the road.
Right. And every other comedian as well. So, and all the new ones that have come after him.
That's the question. Do we care about finding new talent when we can have our favorites forever and ever?
Well, that's the other thing, too, because people tend to just go, I like to listen to the Beatles on the weekend, and that's from 1967, Wow. Oh, no, someone's going to do a DJ Khaled.
What if he has a hologram? Because he only says the same things over and over again.
No, he only has like 4 phrases.
They'd make him talented, though. That's the way I feel.
Add a few phrases.
Yeah.
Different outfit.
Oh, it's just going to keep going and going and going. And then at a certain point, you're going to die, and you're going to have your hologram in the audience watching Whitney Houston.
I would never let my hologram do that. I would never let my
hologram's going to be like, what, 2-drink minimum? What? Come on. Jesus Christ. What? It's $14 for a Shirley Temple. This is an outrage. And then my hologram is going to be in the audience watching DJ Khaled's hologram, and my hologram's going to be complaining the entire time.
It's hard to wrap your mind around.
Heckling.
Yeah, it's coming.
Well, Beverly Hills moved one step closer Tuesday evening to becoming the first city in the nation to ban the sale of all tobacco and nicotine products after the city council voted unanimously in the first of 2 votes required. Now, there is a twist because you get Arnold involved. You get some high-rolling cigar smokers
there's old
involved.
Money in Beverly Hills.
So, yes, well, it's already illegal to smoke basically everywhere, the sidewalks, the farmers market, inside apartments and condos. The new law would ban the sale of cigarettes, cigars, and other tobacco products at all retail locations, gas stations, convenience stores. However, high-end cigar lounges are exempt.
That's right.
Interesting. In high-end or cigar lounges in our city, I think in Glendale and Burbank, it is illegal to smoke cigars in the cigar lounge.
Really?
How does that work?
What is the cigar lounge for?
I don't know.
Stare at it,
Get away from your wife.
You can sell the cigars there, but you can't smoke the cigars there. We're insane. Politicians, please reel it in a little bit. You can look up that.
Cannabis is getting more legal as cigars are getting less legal.
Yeah.
Oh, cigars and cigarettes are on the way out, while cannabis is going to be required smoking for all 8th graders.
It's going to be assigned.
Instead of milk, it's in your cereal.
I was watching this commercial because Heineken's got their new Heineken Zero alcohol one. And now you're watching beer commercials where people are drinking out of the bottle, which goes to show how insane we are because they literally made a Heineken commercial with Doogie Howser where he would like hold it and go like, all right, now I'm going to have a sip. And he'd hold it and then they'd cut away and then they'd come back and go, because we can't see an image of somebody drinking a beer, but now it's the same bottle, but it's zero alcohol. So now we're seeing them all just drink away. Are we fucking nuts?
Yes.
What's wrong with us? Like, who makes these rules?
Like you say about the alien overlords versus self-imposed, that's all a self-imposed rule. That's not even an FCC rule. That's the networks having sort of self-governed themselves for decades, and they're like, yeah, we're not going to air commercials that. So thus, none of the alcohol manufacturers, beer or wine or anything, or liquor, will show anyone drinking the product.
They show them holding it up and toasting
it, pouring it slowly. Yeah, it's all there.
But now we have non-alcoholic Heineken, so now we can show the person drinking it.
Oh, good.
It's so... I cannot understand us. I have no idea that it's You can find out if it's illegal, I think, in Burbank to smoke a cigar in a cigar store or cigar lounge, but that's their business. Yeah. Let them do their business.
It's in the name.
I don't, politicians, what's in it for you? And again, just drive up and down the 5. It's garbage and homeless everywhere. Focus on that.
Of all the problems.
When we're done, we'll get to the guys with the cigars in their lounge with other consenting adults.
Or we won't.
And
is that a risk to children? Are they like getting the high-end cigars, the $30,
They're not allowed in there
the $30
anyway.
Cohibas?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so, and I know, look, Beverly Hills is just grandstanding, obviously, but stop it. Just do something.
I don't mean to do this on a day where we listen to so much DJ Khaled, but David Lee Roth has released his electronic dance version of Van Halen's Jump, which he did with Dutch DJ and producer Armin van Buuren. Jump is still Van Halen's most successful single to date, reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Meanwhile, here's a little fun fact. Daryl Hall says Eddie Van Halen told him that the synthesizer part of Jump was copied from Hall & Oates' Kiss on My List. I have the EDM remix of Jump, and we'll just see how long we can hold out.
It's already kind of a dance song.
Oh, it's
with the synth.
It's about to be taken up about 3 notches.
Nothing gets me down.
I like it better so far.
You got it tough. I've seen the toughest around. And I know, baby, just how you feel.
Gotta wait for that beat to drop.
You got to roll with the punches and get to what's real. Can't you see me standing here? I got my back against the record machine. I ain't the worst that you've seen. Can't you see what I mean? Ow, might as well jump. Might as well.
It's the same song. You can just, if you had an Apple Watch, you could do this, right?
Yeah, hold on. I could do it on my phone.
It's just like, I mean, it's fine. You're hearing the song, you like the song, and they've just added some junk before it, but totally unnecessary.
This is like the Vegas Club Molly dropping remix.
I get it. Let's stop listening to young high people for a second. Let's listen to the old sober people. Did you find out anything about Burbank and cigar stores?
Yeah, you can smoke in them. They have lounges where you can smoke in them.
We
just called one.
Oh, well, then what about Glendale?
That wouldn't make any sense.
Burbank does have like the big no smoking ordinance throughout the city. Like in nowhere in downtown Burbank can you smoke, but like places have found loopholes with their patios and things like that. But
you have to go outside.
Yeah.
It's called Google Me Red.
Well, no, but even I know. Even downtown Burbank, anywhere you can't smoke. Like,
well, then how would you smoke in a cigar store?
That's the loophole.
That's the. I guess it's on their property, or like Barney's Beanery has a patio that you can smoke on there. Like certain restaurants have figured out a way, but for the most part, you will get ticketed if they see you with a cigarette or a vape or something outside of a.
But what if you're standing out front of? Or standing in the corral at Barney's Beanery smoking a cigar? Will you get cited?
No, they have a smoke designated patio, so you can only be there.
Maybe their grandfather did.
All right, well, now you got to check Glendale. Maybe I screwed up Burbank with Glendale. Sorry.
Ice-T has some words for Amazon. He came close to shooting an Amazon delivery driver after mistaking him for an intruder. So he kind of has a point, though. Following the incident, the 61-year-old rapper and actor suggested on Twitter that the tech company should make the employees wear uniforms to help identify them. Here's what he tweeted. Message to Amazon. Now that you have regular people making your home deliveries, maybe they should wear a vest with Amazon delivery on it. I almost shot a MF creeping up to my crib last night. Just saying. Here's what the response was from the CEO. Just saying. Thanks for the suggestion. We MF and love you and our drivers. Lots of innovations coming on this, and many that already exist to help you track your package and delivery on a map. Thanks for being a customer. Because this happened to me too. They're just dudes dropping off packages.
Yeah, so there's this whole thing where everyone's ripping off everything from everyone's front porch.
Right.
So now you have the dude walking to the front porch, and you know if he's dropping off or picking up. I also had the chick. Everyone who delivers everything needs a goddamn poncho, a vest, or a cone to wear on their head, because I had the chick dropping off Taco Bell to my house, and I couldn't make hide nor hair of what was going on. I couldn't make sense of what was going on. I walked out of my front door at like 10:30 in the morning on a Saturday, just coincidentally, to spot a 20-year-old woman in civilian clothes just walking at me, holding a bag of Taco Bell. And in my insane world where people don't have fast food delivered to their house for breakfast.
Faster food.
Oh.
To me, there's just a weird woman who's walking toward
On
me.
your property.
And she's holding her lunch.
Yeah.
Like
You are Taco Bell material, Adam. So long. Just
in my world, that's her Taco Bell bag. And she's walking toward me, and they don't drive official vans or wear anything, so they're just walking at you. And now we're in this weird mode where I have to say, like, hello, or excuse me, or excuse you. Like, what? Why are you walking at me with your lunch, Miss Plain Dressed Person?
Ice-T agrees.
Yeah, he's right. And they should all just put a vest on, and do whatever. Uber does their thing. They put the plaque. Lyft puts the plaque. Puts the thing. Domino's Pizza put the thing on the roof of the car. Like, we're going to have to start identifying everybody.
And with the stuff getting ripped off, that's an epidemic. The stuff getting ripped off the porches, like the Amazon boxes.
The porch
and
pirates.
We infantilize it by calling them porch pirates. It's so cute. They're porch pirates. No, the thieves. I think that I'm convinced the fact that we're infantilizing it and calling it they're porch pirates. Isn't that cute? Is the reason why no one's clamping down on this.
But that's what pirates are.
But they've also been Disneyfied. You know what I mean? Like the fact that we're calling them porch pirates is sort of part of a whole Captain
there's also
Jack.
Somali
pirates sweet and fun. No, they're not. They're murderers. They're thieves.
It's also kind of a unisex crime that I think we kind of look at as progressive. You know what I mean? Like,
Get
there's
the
a lot of
involved.
junky dude waiting.
We've come a long way.
The junky dude's waiting in the car, and the old lady runs out and grabs the box. Because if the junky dude walks there, the neighbor wants to know what's going on. See, because I feel like a lot of the footage I see are the 23-year-old junky chick walking for the porch.
Yep.
So it's unisex.
Okay.
It's progressive.
Equal opportunity.
They're
Equality.
pirates. It's
They're
equality.
ELE.
Yeah. We're evolved now.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
So Page Six reports that Kristen Wiig will no longer film her new comedy in Georgia after the state signed the new anti-abortion legislation. Wiig and her Bridesmaids co-writer Amy Momolo had planned to shoot their film called Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar in Georgia, but have decided to boycott the state over the heartbeat bill. Georgia has been an attractive location for Hollywood studios because it's a generous
they're going nuts.
30% tax rebate, and other films and shows are starting to do the same thing. There's a new show on Amazon called The Power. They're pulling out. The film industry is responsible for 92.
They're pulling. Well, look, if the dudes would pull out,
this
we
would be
wouldn't
an
have
issue.
this.
Be in this
That's right.
pickle.
That's right.
Yeah.
If they pull their pickle out, we wouldn't be in this. Yeah.
92,000 film jobs in Georgia.
Yeah, well, they figured it out. I mean, I guess Tyler Perry was kind of the tip of the spear. That's not racist. And he started building all the huge production studios over there.
Marvel.
And everyone started building there. And, yeah, they started doing all Guardians of the Galaxy and everything. And so Kristen Wiig, good, but you got it. They'll go to New Mexico or somewhere else. They should come back to L.A. and just do it
End up
here.
here at home.
Pay the taxes, man.
The lesson to be learned. I learned this in an episode of Freakonomics years ago, which is the incentives, the rebates, whatever they call them, for the states. They don't really work for the states because there's always another state offering a better deal. It's like New Mexico, or it's Georgia, or it's somewhere in Canada. It's always going to be someone offering a better deal, and the Hollywood's more than happy to just hop to the next best deal. They're the ones who win. They're getting the best rebate wherever they go.
Right. All right, Gina, what else we got?
Jada Pinkett Smith once enjoyed adult videos more than she was comfortable with. On her Facebook Watch talk show, the Red Table Talk, the star admitted to having a little porn addiction in the past. Now, remember, fine, great. She told her co-host this, so they all discussed it. Her co-hosts are her daughter, Willow, and her mother, Adrienne Banfield Jones, that she said she wasn't in a relationship when she had a porn addiction. Thank goodness. Jada, who's 47, has been married to Will Smith for 22 years, says she turned to porn because she felt an emptiness and really wanted her mom and daughter to get in on this convo.
This is an offshoot of treating your kids like your best friend.
Yeah.
Because these are best friend conversations, not kid conversations. I remember I thankfully have never had any intimate conversations with my mom or my dad because I don't think they've ever been intimate with anybody. But my grandmother did talk to me about water-soluble lube once. And
Wasn't it at the dinner table?
Well, that was the rim job.
Oh, okay.
The water-soluble lube conversation was after my grandfather had passed. My grandmother was lamenting that everywhere she looked, something reminded her of Lotzie. Yeah. It started off as sort of a Hallmark card, you know what I mean? Like, I go into his den and I see his typewriter there, and I think of him. I go into the hall closet and I see his overcoat there. I think of him. I go into the bathroom and open the medicine chest. I see the water-soluble lube. I think of him. I'm like, dude, really? You don't think I got the theme? First off, we don't need to do everything in threes.
Yeah.
Secondly, you could have said a fucking toothbrush. Oh, he'd hit my clit with that toothbrush.
Oh, God.
And I was like, my grandmother just like to get a rise out of people.
No.
Hey, you had an evil grandma.
She was
Well, mean
eccentric.
grandma. You had
Okay.
mean grandma.
Yeah,
I had a mean grandma, too.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can try to figure out some of these through lines.
Have they linked up in the afterlife?
Our two
mean grandmas?
I feel like they must have found each other. Like, really? There are not that many grandmas in hell. What are you doing here? I'm a mean
I
grandma.
like to think of mine in purgatory. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right. I'll upgrade my grandma. My grandma was mean, and so there's a couple of ways you can be. You can. So first, you need dominion over people.
Yes.
That's part of being mean. Is you control them with your mood. You know what I mean? Like, oh boy, I don't know. I mean, when she would come through the door at 6:00, my grandfather was scared. Like he was like, oh yes, dear, yes, dear. Like he was running for the skillet. Like if that. You've never seen anguish on a guy. You'd be 5:45. The pot roast needing like another 25 minutes in the oven. She's coming through the door at 6. He's missed his timing by 9, somewhere between 9 and 13 minutes. And he's panicking. Like he's pacing. He's kind of hoping maybe there's traffic on the 405 and she won't come through. Then she'd like come through the door like, Lotzie, yoo-hoo. Like a couple hallmarks of being mean. First off, you don't let people answer. Like she'd come in and go, Lotzie, and he'd go, yeah, yoo-hoo. Like, please let him answer. You're not letting him answer.
Yeah.
You have to leave a little. It's like Olga hates this story, but goddamn it, you can't knock on the bathroom door and simultaneously open it. You're going to catch me on the pot. The whole reason they invented knocking is so I have a chance to answer.
Yeah,
and if you yell out your husband's name, he must have an opportunity to answer. He would not give her that. Nazi, yes, dear, and he'd call her darling, and he'd come running, and he was scared.
Oh, God.
So there's two ways she had dominion over you. She'd tell you how to correct your pronunciation.
Oh, that's the hallmark.
Actually, she said pronunciation on everything. But the other part was she'd kind of get you on your heels by telling you something that was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and it kind of get you like, and I'm thinking about it, or I'm not going to just fire back. Like my grandma would say like sort of sexually inappropriate things, and it would make everyone kind of go like, oh boy.
Okay.
And now
She has upper hand.
she's kind of in charge again.
Yeah.
Right.
That part we didn't have crossover, but that's funny you mentioned about the Lotzie, because my grandpa's name was Frank, and thankfully he was a very low pulse Canadian man. You know what I mean? So he didn't get worked up too much. He wasn't a scared husband. But she from the top floor to where he was in the back with his trains. He was a train guy, right? Frank, and he would hear it and he'd be like, yes, dear. And then she was the first adult I ever saw be mean to other adults, i.e. her husband.
Yeah, you didn't know that when you were a kid.
No, because people were mean to kids because they were kids. You know, I saw her mean to other adults. Her thing, and it's just family lore. She would call him all the time, "You bird ass, you bird ass, bird ass." That means you idiot. And on top of that, I think I told the story before, but I'll tell it again because if he's a low pulse Canadian, right? So every story took a little too long, and he took his time. But so there we were. It was a Tuesday, I think, and we were getting ready to. I'll probably go to lunch. Where we're going, and she would get the pot would start to boil in her head. She'd get more and more angry, and by the time he was wasting time too much in her mind, "Oh, what were you wearing?"
Oh, I like her. I would say the same thing.
My grandmother would be.
That's good.
My grandmother would be mean to the TV set. She didn't just use people or things. Like, we'd watch the Oscars at her house, and at some point, like, and the winner of the 1974 Academy Award for Best Actor, John Wayne, and everyone would like start applauding, and she'd go, ugh. And then I'd go, what? Hey, John Wayne, he just won Academy. That's good for him, right? We disagree with his politics. I'm like, okay, good. We can ruin everything now. Let's ruin everything.
My grandma would be mean via the TV set because she used to record movies off TV, like classic movies, you know, but record them onto a VHS. And she would leave a Post-it where she wasn't in the room. It just said, recording, do not touch, capital letters.
Oh, yeah.
Your grandmother probably loved when, what's his name, sent the Native American chick in
Marlon
instead.
Brando.
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando, that's right.
Yeah.
She
Or was it
probably-
Artie Lang? It's hard to tell these days.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more.
All right. Let's see here. Okay. Justin Bieber, he has a new money-making
hologram.
venture. Yeah.
Boom.
A brand new deodorant that will launch this fall. Now, he's in good company. This is why I picked this story, because who cares about Justin Bieber's deodorant? Well, Justin teamed up with Schmidt's Naturals for a line called Here and Now, which will be sold online and in retailers like Whole Foods starting September, October-ish. Bieber is the second celebrity endorser in the Schmidt's deodorant camp. The other person that has held the title for having their own deodorant named after them by this company, animal activist Jane Goodall.
Oh, really?
Jane Goodall and Justin Bieber both have their scent brought to this deodorant line.
I think she went to the Helen Gorog School of Positive Affirmations, right?
I know, hold on.
Yeah.
Have
I have
that?
no idea.
You cannot imagine how wrong you are.
It was my entire childhood with my grandma.
You want to smell like that?
Yeah. I don't look. I can tell you guys, just the Toms of Maine stuff, or just a regular, like just Sure baby powder stuff. It's just the best. The basic stuff. The Sports Red Zone by Menon and stuff like that. It just smell like deodorant.
Yeah.
I don't.
That weaponized spray.
It's weird. There's a male version of the God, that guy just smells like generic deodorant,
Right.
and then there's a female perfume version of she smells like perfume, like generic perfume. It's weird.
Yeah.
Why do you want to achieve that?
I don't know.
I thought that stuff was a generational thing that was on its way out, and then Axe came around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Axe and all the body sprays.
With the gel, the sticky gel shit
My
for guys.
brother used that when I was a teenager.
All
I
boys
could
did.
never use the gel. The gel was it made your
So
armpits feel wet.
sticky.
I love the I know it's weird.
But that was, you know, everything where like a certain era is extreme and a certain era is X. A certain era was gel. Everything was gel. It had to be
the
gel.
when you turn the knob at the bottom and the gel pushes out thing, I feel the exact same way about that in the deodorant department as I do with gum with the burst of flavor inside of it. It's off-putting. I don't need it. It's very it's homoerotic, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with gum. The gum is fine. When I'm in the mood with gum, I'll have gum. I don't need a flavor burst in the middle of it with a bunch of gel shooting into my mouth. I feel the same way with that deodorant.
Sticky shit.
And I never got it.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Okay.
All right, let's bring it home.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news. I almost shot a MF creeping up to my crib last night. Just saying.
That was the news with Gina Grad.